Welcome, everybody. Again, this is Robin, the co-host, and it's January 7th, 2024. Big snowstorm here in Western Mass. But we're just about to enter the Q&A section of our Sunday Morgellons talk.
Wonderful. Hi, this is Richard, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites, welcoming you to the Q&A portion of the program. In our first segment, we were fortunate to have, blessed to have Dianne share her experience. She's one of our newest coaches, and her experience started back in 2005 from a bed bug infestation, and it turned into a misery of 10 years of going to doctors and specialists, dermatologists, and finally she found someone who was familiar with Morgellons, who pointed her on the right path, and she found us, which was the right path. And she has succeeded and made the diet work and shared her experience today and has joined our coaching team. Chris, do we have anybody with any questions? I think we may have lost Chris. Oh, okay, let me go here. I had somebody write in. Hello?
Hi, Richard. Here.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Who is this?
Okay, this is Sharon from Alabama.
Hi, Sharon.
And hi. First, I just want to say thank you. You're awesome. I am in the process of doing all of my recommendations, except I have not gotten my Lefeneron yet. I took immediately. Let me just tell you, this Nature's Gift skin lotion with Thin Ben, it is absolutely amazing. I do not get paid to say this, but I'm telling you, I've only used the product 2 days, and when I woke up this morning, I can almost see like no discoloration. It's almost like nothing is, it's almost gone. Half of what was there is gone.
Wow.
So I will, that I don't know what's in it, but I took because it doesn't give any directions or anything on it. I mean, it's lotion, for crying out loud. But what I did was I took my cotton balls, and for some reason, whatever was going on my face, it hates cotton balls. And I knew that because as I rub with cotton balls and the distilled water and the Nature's Gift, the soap, anytime when I rub with that, stuff just would start coming off. But this, with Thin Ben, it is doing the job. I don't think I'll have to order anything other than this skin lotion with Thin Ben as far as my skin is concerned from now on. Now, my question is, let me ask two. One is, I ordered the stevia, but it was out of stock. I wanted to find out when that may be back in stock so I can order it again. And then number two, is there a limit on how much hot cocoa I can drink?
Number one, I was not aware that the stevia is out of stock. Okay, it should be in stock, and I can check that real quick here. Secondly, you can drink as much cocoa as you like, as much as you know. I don't know if you can overdo cocoa or not. I don't know.
Oh, well, great. I think I'll grab a cup now. That completes my questions for so far.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it doesn't show out of stock. It shows in stock, the stevia. Okay.
When I got my order, I placed it and it came back with it gave me a refund and said it was out of stock.
Oh, that may have been some time ago, but it's in stock now.
Okay, I will place the order again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Chris, are you back yet? All right, I do have a lady wrote in. Hello?
Khalid,
hello. Hi, Khalid.
Hi, could you speak and elaborate on clothing? I have thrown away a lot of clothing because I was with scabies.net and they referred me to you, and I was soaking my clothes in enzyme, then washing my clothes after 2 hours, and I'm still itching. So I got rid of the clothes. I'm I'm ordering new clothes, but yet and still, even when I put on the new clothes, my skin is irritated. I yield.
Okay, clothing, laundering, we have that pretty much down pat. Robin, you want to go through the laundering protocol? You kind of developed it.
Yeah, so you really don't need to throw out clothes, but it's in combination with disinfecting your environment. Once your clothes get clean, you can't just hang them up or put them in drawers because your whole house is infested. So before you even start with laundry, I would suggest that you get zippered vinyl mattress, box spring, and pillow covers for your bedding, and zippered vinyl mattress cover to use for your blankets, and then use the duvet cover over that. But when you wash things, so I use a big bin that I got at Walmart that has a cover on it, and I put 2 inches of ammonia in the bottom, and I pre-soak I use that as a laundry basket, so they're constantly soaking in ammonia. And then you want to at least soak them for a couple hours, if not overnight.
So you in the bottom you put ammonia, and then you put some egg cartons on top, right? Like plastic egg cartons. So
but I haven't done that because I don't mind the fact that my ammonia doesn't hurt the clothes.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So I haven't done the egg carton thing, but you can do that if you don't want to have to pick up soaked in ammonia clothes to put in the washing machine.
It's the fumes that do the work, not necessarily the liquid ammonia.
Exactly.
You close the lid, so the whole thing is encased in fumes. All the clothing is exposed to the fumes.
And now, I only do laundry pretty much once a week, so every time I throw dirty clothes in there, I add a little more ammonia. But initially, you're going to probably have to do laundry every day. And then, so after you soak it overnight, I use, I don't measure, but it's probably between a half a cup and a cup of borax that I put right in the washing machine. And then I put in the clothes, and then I use Nature's Gift laundry soap or an enzyme cleaner, any enzyme cleaner, but Richard has the best one. And then I also use I put it where you would put things that go after the wash. I use what is it? It's PCO. It's by Cedar-Side. It's a cedar-based. It's actually an organic pesticide for outside, and I use it in my laundry, and it's amazing. I used to use powdered pool shock, but it can also leave spots in your clothes. This doesn't leave spots. You get it from, I think it's cedarside.com, and it's not cheap, but you only need a couple of tablespoons in the wash. And you want to wash everything on the hottest setting possible. I have a newer washing machine, and it actually has a sterilize function, which is pretty cool. So that takes like 2 hours to wash the clothes. So anyway, after the wash, I put it in the dryer, also on the hottest setting. I use dryer sheets, because dryer sheets, even though they have chemicals, those chemicals repel parasites. And I spray 2 dryer sheets with ammonia, throw it in, and then I dry clothes on the highest setting for like an hour and a half. When I look at the lint catcher in the dryer, if I see little black dots or little white things, it means they don't get, then you do the whole process again. You re-wash them, and then you put them in the dryer. And initially, when you do this, you might have to do the whole process 3 times, but eventually your clothes will come out clean. And when they do come out clean, you want to put them in Ziploc freezer bags of all sizes, or giant Ziploc bags, or something that's going to like totally enclose them, that's airtight, that nothing can get in. and then you'll be able to, you won't have to throw out all your clothes. You'll be able to use them, put them in your bin with ammonia after each wearing, let them soak, and then do the process again. But it could take a while if you have a lot of clothes, like I have had a lot of clothes, to go through everything and store it properly so it doesn't get reinfested.
Now, when you put the clothing in the Ziploc bag, you could put in some menthol crystals with them as well.
Well, it depends, because menthol crystals can eat holes in cloth. What I do is I will put them in the bottom of the bag, like for winter stuff, but I use Nuvon strips, but in drawers, I'll put menthol crystals in the drawer in a little, like, gift bag, like for weddings, those gauzy bags. And I'll put menthol crystals in every drawer. And then the clothes themselves are in Ziploc, so they're not being touched by the menthol crystals, but the menthol crystals keep the drawers clean.
Great.
And hanging stuff, I'll put menthol crystals in shoes. I wipe down my shoes with ammonia, and I put menthol crystals inside them, and I put them in Ziploc bags. But I also use Nuvon strips, which are a little more expensive. They last like 4 months, but they're very effective as long as you can cut them up and use different sizes, and they kill everything. And I do want to say one thing, bed bugs, it's not that bed bugs cause Morgellons, it's that they can be vectors, so they can carry the parasite. There are a lot of vectors for Morgellons: bed bugs, fleas, mites, springtails. All of those can carry the parasite that causes Morgellons, but they're not per se the cause by themselves. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Robin. Okay, anything else, Kelly?
That's pretty much it. I will actually call and get the coach on the line. I guess that's you. Are you the coach?
Robin is a coach. I'm a coach.
Okay.
Diane's a coach. We have like half a dozen coaches.
So if you stay on the call till the unrecorded part, you'll hear all the coaches' phone numbers for free coaching.
Okay. I don't want to take up too much time. Let someone else ask the question. I yield.
Okay. Thank you for joining in today. Who's next? Chris, do you have anybody? Okay, I got this.
1 second, Richard.
Leah had a question. Just a moment. Leah, are you there?
All right, let me go through this one here that came in.
You can go, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Yeah, Rich.
Hi, Nick. How you doing? Yeah, I can hear you.
I kind of messed up. I got a little ballsy, excuse my language, and I woke up one morning and I tried a regular diet one day, and that's all it took. All hell broke loose.
Yep, it's that fast. Yep.
I'm pretty good with the diet. I listen to you and Robin all the time. I'm pretty good, but I guess Christmas came and I slipped it. Hello?
Sorry, I literally, when you were asking for me to unmute, I got another call and I got disconnected. So I'm sorry if I'm interrupting something. But I did have a question.
And your first name?
Leah from
Hi, Leah. Yes. And your question?
Hi. So I have had this for 10 years, and it's starting to do some internal damage. My upper abdomen, I had a colonoscopy and an upper GI, and it's been in my sinuses for months. And now I've been on different antibiotics, but just short courses, and I feel like it's getting worse to the point where even neurologically things are happening. And I don't know if you know of a physician in Austin or near, Central Texas that specializes in Lyme or Morgellons? That's my first question. And the second one is, have you been on long-term antibiotics, and what were they, and did they help?
Leah, wonderful that you tuned in here. You're talking to a person who has gone through the mill from the right to the left and back again. Lyme disease almost destroyed my life about 8 years ago. I'm 99.9% free. I've been on long-term antibiotics through Dr. Bransfield, who is associated with the Charles Holman Foundation. After I finished the treatment, the first place I was tested for Lyme disease microscopically, found to have Lyme disease. He put me on the antibiotics. I had no symptoms at that time. I went through 6 months of rotation of antibiotics, Bactrim, Biaxin, and Zithromax, along with Mepron, and was great. I never had any symptoms, and then 6 months after I stopped, all hell broke loose, and Lyme disease almost killed me. The Charles Holman Association publishes research. So if you go to the Charles Holman Foundation and you look up the research.
Sorry, I've done so much research on that, and I've been to even one of their conferences and met all of them. It's
well. If you allow me to finish, please.
Yeah.
So if you go to the research studies, around the middle of the listing of research, they have a study of 12 people that were on antibiotics, and they checked the recidivism of the 12 people that were on antibiotics. 3 of those people of the 12 having Lyme disease also had Morgellons disease. Of the 12 people, all of them either had no benefit from the long-term antibiotics. This is published on their site. I'm not just making this up. This is published on their site. These are the people who do the rotation of long-term prescription antibiotics, all right? Now, I didn't make this up. This is their site, their publication. Only 1 out of 12 that were on long-term antibiotics derived any benefit of becoming symptom-free. So to me, in my experience, long-term antibiotics are a pig in a poke, all right? So how did I get my life back? Because I didn't go back to long-term antibiotics. I got my life back pretty much by accident. And accident seemed to make up my calling in life. I discovered a diet by accident. And the people who get their lives back are benefiting from my accidents. So in the midst of the worst part of Lyme disease that you could imagine, where I could not even write my name with my, I could not even drive a car without, I had to use a stick to maneuver the gas pedal. I was in so much pain, I could not drive a car without using a stick to maneuver the gas pedal. That's how bad it was. Double inflammation, 24/7 misery. I wish my life could be over. It was that bad. I thought, here I beat the skin parasites, and now Lyme disease is going to beat me. And it was. Fortunately, one of the people in my group said that glutathione cured her of Morgellons, and she offered me a bottle of the basically what we call the Max 1 product that's in her store. And before I really list anything in the store, I use it myself, just to see what might happen. And I had no anticipation of boosting glutathione having any direct result or any effect on my Lyme disease. I had no expectation. After 6 weeks, I was 90% free of symptoms from Lyme disease. And hey, that was really good. In fact, I found the only time Lyme disease flared up for me was when I was under stress. I hate being late. So if I was going to be late for an appointment, the Lyme disease would flare up, but not nearly the way it used to be, the way it was. And then about a year later, I happened upon our Garcellin product. Somebody shared or I talked to in another accident. And Garcellin is allicin. If you check it out, the inventors, the people that discovered how to extract it from garlic without it decomposing, one capsule contains the equivalent of 35 cloves of garlic worth of allicin. One capsule, and I detoxed. My knees inflamed like 100%. The pain was immense, like it was before I ever took boosted glutathione. When I realized it was a detox reaction, I bought a massage pillow, put it under my knees or the lymphatic glands, and then 2 weeks later, I was able to continue with the Garcellin. I am 99.9% free of any effects of Lyme disease for the last 8 years, which is wonderful. So yeah. I have a book, and the book is titled, Lyme Disease Doesn't Have to Own You Anymore. So the book goes into long-term antibiotics, goes into salt and vitamin C, it goes into rifing, certain frequencies. In fact, if you look in the book, there are frequencies in the book, and the latter part of the book, I think chapter 7, the frequencies for rifing with Lyme disease. There's even a clinic in Europe somewhere where you can go and they can raise your body temperature to about 107 degrees for a period of time to destroy Lyme disease for several $1,000s. So it goes into all the different techniques that are typically used for Lyme disease. However, the AMA and the FDA require me to inform everybody on this call that before you start the diet or before you accept any of my recommendations or any of those of my coaches, that you thoroughly discuss them with your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA also instructs me to tell you that none of us are trained physicians. I'm not a physician. I'm not licensed. I haven't passed the medical board. And by law, the only people who are allowed to diagnose, treat, cure any disease are medical doctors who are licensed. So what can I do? The only thing I can do is educate you. I can educate you how to use the diet to deal with skin parasites and Morgellons. I can educate you how to clean them out of your environment. I can educate you how to clean them out of your skin. And I can educate you how to build health and immune functioning. So, by boosting glutathione, by utilizing a natural antibiotic, allicin, instead of prescription antibiotics, by taking vitamins and basic essential vitamins and minerals, you may, as well as I have, build your immune system to the point you may not need treatment. And if you do require treatment, you can be guaranteed that by building your own health and immune functioning, it will be far more effective and beneficial than ever you imagined possible. The book also tells you how to deal with detox, because what I experienced with one capsule of our Garcellin was detox, and it was painful. So by utilizing zeolite, which I didn't know at that time, you could go on Amazon and get zeolite. Of course, I had no idea one little tiny capsule would have any impact whatsoever. Other ways of detoxing are that you can get our digestive enzymes. They're called AgroRelief, and the complete amino acid formula from our store. And by taking those two, you can minimize the impacts of detox. And also by drinking lots and lots of water, because you need, now, most of our products are powerful. Boosting glutathione can contribute to serious detox. Allicin, Garcellin contribute to serious detox. Our kinase enzymes can contribute to serious detox. Our undecoic acid can contribute to serious detox. The Other medications that we recommend in conjunction, lefiniran, fenben, can both contribute to serious detox. So whenever you get into this thing and you're using any of these, we recommend you have on hand things that you need and start to deal with detox, because detox can be so serious it can be life-threatening if not dealt with effectively. And that's one of the reasons why when you go to an LLMD, Lyme literate medical doctor, they'll put you on one antibiotic. And then if you have a detox, what they do is they take you off the antibiotic. And that's the mistake. When they take you off that antibiotic for your body to adjust to the detox, it gives Lyme an opportunity to shift, to morph into another form where the antibiotics will no longer be beneficial. And that's one of the problems with prescription antibiotics and rotation of them. They don't deal with detox effectively. So did I answer your question, Leah?
Rich, let me just say something that might be able to help her. I'm Nick. I'm one of the life coaches, and a couple of years ago, he had a gentleman on there that was on antibiotics. Morgellons disease, antibiotics. Like, it's just.
Nick, are you talking to a speakerphone? Because
Hello.
Yeah, better.
He had a gentleman, let me just say something. He had a gentleman a couple of years ago that's on antibiotics from doctors that are giving antibiotics. He was on it permanently. That gentleman still has it, the Morgellons disease. It's just a Band-Aid, like Richard told me. It makes sense. All the people that are on antibiotics that are not on this diet, they still got it. They're still getting, I mean, it just, like he said, it just puts a Band-Aid on it. It slows down the mitigation. It doesn't kill it. It does not kill it. Antibiotics doesn't kill it. And people are walking around right now still with it. If they would listen to Richard and stay on the diet, they'd probably get rid of it with the antibiotics. They probably got a better chance. But I've gotten my life back just with no antibiotics, no nothing in the past, and I will get my life back again with his supplements and other protocols to do this. But they will not listen to him, so they walk around with it for the rest of their life if they're on antibiotics and they're on a regular diet.
Well, the problem with the antibiotics is that they often don't, the study that they published on the Charles Holman Association reports that only 1 out of 12 ever got symptom-free. The other 11 never got symptom-free, or if they ever did get symptom-free, as soon as they went off the antibiotics, the symptoms returned. Those results are published in my book, by the way. So if you read my book, you'll read the results of that study. It's not something they hide. The other danger of long-term prescription antibiotics, and if you go through all of our videos, you will hear some people share the effects that they've been on for 5-6 years. It could affect them to the point that they can't digest food. You see, prescription antibiotics do 2 things. One, they destroy epithelial cells. Epithelial cells are found in your skin. We all know that. But they're found in your gut. That's what most of us don't realize. They're found in your gut, and that's the last place. And the other thing long-term antibiotics do is they destroy gut biome. And when your gut biome is destroyed, then all you got is bad bacteria, and eventually you can't even digest food. It's a sad way to go. And then you don't get better. It's worse than Morgellons, in a sense. Okay, anyone else have a question? Chris? Anyone else?
Hi.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes.
Hi. I have a question about the Fenben.
Yes.
Okay, I just I just received the Thin Bin and I started taking it. Today is my second day. But the general instructions, they state that you take one of the 222 milligrams, but it also has that some people take 444. What is different than with the dosage? Do you recommend the 222 or the 444?
The 222 is used daily, 7 days a week. The 444 is used 3 days on and 4 days off, I believe. So you don't do it every day. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Lena?
Hi, this is Lena. I just want to say that I got Morgellons from 60 bed bug bites in Mexico. I went to visit my friend, and that's the year I picked up Morgellons from bed bugs. And also the other thing I want to say, I was on antibiotics for some weird diseases I picked up from the hospital, and I was on like 4 different, because I had so many, I picked up like 8 illnesses from the hospital at one time. So the doctor prescribed me 4 types of antibiotics to attack 4 part of my illnesses, and I end up with Cdiff. So that's another. Yeah, that was so horrible too. I lived with Cdiff, and because of
Tell us what the symptoms are of C. diff. Tell us how it affected your body.
You get diarrhea, and then the diarrhea itself, you have to be careful because it's very contagious. So I live by myself, so that's okay. But if you have family members, you go to the bathroom, you poop and you diarrhea, you have to make sure you Clorox it. You make sure that, because those C. diff bacteria is very contagious and very dangerous. It can also cause death if it's just not cured or not treated. So there's a lot of bloating, definitely diarrhea. Yeah, it's just really miserable.
Horrible.
And because having columbola, there's so many things that I can't not do for a good gut health because of columbola. So then to combat C. diff, I had to use a rice machine to kill it. I couldn't take anything intraorally to cure my C. diff. I had to be on the rice machine for like a good 8 to 10 months to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's what happened.
So your digestion was compromised significantly or severely, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Just as I was saying.
Just so sad about having columbola. Before I picked up columbola, I had Lyme and Morgellons, and that was much more manageable. You still can take probiotics. You can still have a good gut health, because you could take all these nutritious foods like avocados, all these nutritious things. But once columbola, I can't take anything that's healthy for my gut anymore.
Yeah.
So
are you aware that we have an herbal formula now, Gut Restore?
Yeah, I purchased it right away when I saw it. I purchased it when you had it on sale, when you first introduced it. Yeah.
Great.
So I just received it, so I'm going to start.
Great.
But yeah, it was horrible with C. diff. I asked the doctor, can we just use one antibiotic to target 4 illnesses? Because there's one antibiotic, I think it was erythromycin, can actually target all the 4 illnesses I picked up from the hospital. But he's like, he already gave me azithromycin for one, clindamycin for another illness, and then amoxicillin for another. So I was taking 3 or 4. There was another one, I forgot the name of it, but I was taking 4 for 4, and I ended up with, I think it was 6 weeks on it, and I was supposed to be on it longer, but I couldn't anymore.
Right.
Because I know I'm getting C. diff. I have to treat it. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you looked into our Garcillin?
Oh yeah, I've been on your program for so long, and I buy all your products. I buy all of your products.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would say antibiotics is so bad for us. Mm-hmm.
Terrible. So an important point that she made, bed bugs, and Dianne before, bed bugs. And if you look at the Charles Holman Foundation research and their publications, they always talk about Morgellons being a tick-borne disease. Bed bugs are not ticks. See, the problem with us experts is that most of us get pigeonholed into thinking that Morgellons is a tick-borne disease. And if you do your research, you'll find there's another group that thinks Morgellons is a concrete eating organism. Concrete, the things they make floors out of, pork. And if you look into others, you'll see Morgellons is spiritosis, rose gardener's disease, fungal. Everybody gets pigeonholed. Not this guy. No way. The simplest things. Yes.
My best friend I met because we both end up with, having these illnesses. We became best friends. And she got her Morgellons and Lyme from spider bites.
Spider, yep.
Yeah, and another person got it from spider bites. And I know 2 people, they got Morgellons while they're gardening without gloves.
Yes,
so it's
absolutely.
Really important when you're gardening, you have to wear gloves because they both got it because they were just sticking around the soil without gloves, and they got bitten, and then they got Morgellons.
Here a lady writes, Melissa writes to me, I was infected by, I don't know how to pronounce this, Rhizopus species black mold. Sounds serious, doesn't it? Rhizopus species black mold. They're identical in the skin under micro. I never seen anything like this, and the pathology determined tissue fragments coming out of my skin. Are you aware of this being only the 2 things that are present under the micro? Well, I don't know what you're really asking there, but the bottom line is, and here, so Rhizopus stollifer, commonly known as black bread mold. It's a typical fungus, typical, not some strange, weird. Another person, found that once he got rid of pseudomonas, which is a common bacteria around, but it can take over your skin and your body pretty quick if your defenses are down, particularly if, for instance, you have leukemia or some kind of cancer where they wipe out your immune processing. These things these cofactors can then compromise your gut, your body, and Morgellons comes in, and suddenly Morgellons is the king and takes over. They're all like chess pieces. So this Rhizopus black mold is like a pawn on a chessboard. Very powerful suddenly. Wasn't powerful before, but now very powerful. And feeds, protects the king. Lyme disease. Lyme disease is like the queen on the chessboard. Fungal issues are like the bishops and the rooks. They become powerful once Morgellons. Intestinal parasites, for instance, particularly if they've migrated through the intestinal wall with leaky gut syndrome, candida, all of a sudden become so powerful once Morgellons comes on the scene. And once you get rid of the cofactor, Morgellons is a pussycat. Gone. So you hear many people say, well, Strongyloides cervicalis, a serious skin parasite that I had, one of my buddies way back when. Lyme disease, intestinal parasites. They can all be dormant for years. Along comes Morgellons, and they're no longer dormant. They kind of wake up and take over. They take over the chessboard, protected the king. You figure out what they are, and the good thing about my protocol does a pretty damn good job of wiping most of them out, building health and immune functioning so that you can get your life back in Morgellons calls. So for the lady with this common black bread mold, well, all cellular walls of fungal organisms are comprised of chitin, C-H-I-T-I-N. So number one is why I always recommend leuthiniron, a pet medication that actually inhibits the production of chitin. So you can have these organisms in your body, but suddenly they're no longer going to be duplicating, replicating. So that's step number one. Step number two is we have kinase enzymes in our store. Kinase enzymes, C-H-I-T-I-N, you get the, well, they chew up chitin. So the existing fungal organisms in your body, the existing fungal organisms that are associated with this black bread mold, a very common type of mold, take the kinase enzymes, they're going to crumble. So you see, fungal organisms are like a brick wall, and the chitin is what the chitin is what is like the mortar in a brick wall. You dissolve the mortar and the wall falls. You know, the mortar goes to mush and the wall is useless. It falls. So number two, kinase enzymes. And then a further step, if we go the ultimate, is our undeicleic acid. It's the supplement is called calcium deiclex, and that inhibits the production of hyphae. Now, just as a plant has a root structure, the root goes into the ground and absorbs the nutrients, the water and the nutrients from the soil. Fungal organisms have a root structure that's called hyphae, and that goes into whatever it's growing on, into your flesh, or if it's growing on a wall, it'll go into the plaster and absorbs nutrients. So the calcium deiclex inhibits the ability for fungal organisms to build the root structures, and it also helps the undeicleic acid and the this calcium deiclex helps rebuild gut biome as well. And the other benefit from the kinase enzymes, and the main benefit, in fact, the company doesn't even promote that, they don't even promote the kinase enzymes for dissolving chitin as we use it. They promote it as dissolving biofilm. And biofilm is associated with most bacterial organisms to protect themselves, particularly Lyme disease. It builds a biofilm around its clusters so that the antibiotics can't get to it, to protect it. So this is an incredible process that we have to take care of these cofactors, and this one being a common one, it should fall pretty quickly with this approach. And of course, we have our non-disclosure, check with your doctor, make sure you look into it, research it, don't accept our recommendations unless you talk to your doctor to make sure it won't cause any problems. So that's to protect us so we can stay here and keep doing our good work. Who else has a question?
Andrea.
Andrea. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's a long time since I heard from you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you
Wonderful.
so much. So my question is, when I was listening to Dianne, just my curiosity raised up, and I would like to know which food from stage 1 she couldn't have, and which food from stage 2 she could have.
Dianne.
Yeah, I'm here. The lactose-free milk that he suggested I cannot have, and the sour cream I cannot have. Farmer's cheese, I think, is on the stage 1 diet. I could not have that. On the stage 2, I have had no problem with the red potatoes. Every New Year's, I've had black-eyed peas, and that's not on either list. But I did write to Richard, and he said, try it and let me know, so I did. I have had no problem with that. And I'm also going with, I'm kind of made up my own rule because it's so hard to find, like, spelt bread here and so many other items that you kind of need. I'm starting to look for that 2%. If it's less than 2%, I can handle it.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for this. Also, I had some nuances with my diet, so I couldn't have a lot of stuff from stage 1, but I could have avocado, for example, etc. So I was just curious which
Isn't
food.
that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
isn't that funny? But it does help if you keep your own journal, because that way you know exactly what caused it.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if I buy the wrong kind of, sometimes I'll buy the wrong kind of bacon and I'll know within an hour, oh, don't buy that bacon anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really a kind of a miracle that your body can talk to you that way.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a good title. Your body talks.
Exactly. And you have to listen to it.
So, Andrea, how have you been doing?
I'm managing stuff, so I'm doing kind of okay. So life go on.
Are you progressing?
I don't have itching or lesions, but I have to be careful what I'm eating. Still, I'm desinfecting. I have to do disinfection of my environment and clothing like before, so that's important for me. I feel more comfy if I'm doing that, and yes, I'm managing things, so that's good. And grateful I found you.
Wonderful. So you're progressing, and we love to hear progress. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay. Andrea, by the way, we published, if you go into our blog, the blog is at best, like best man at a wedding, bestmorgellonscure.com, and you look up EMF. There are a lot of articles that are about the dangers of EMF when we come to 5G, because that's another cofactor in a sense. It's not like a disease, but it makes people more not everybody, but many of us more sensitive to these organisms. And Andrea was kind enough to transpose a series of presentations made by experts at a symposium a year or two ago about the dangers of EMF. So if you're into knowing more about EMF and the dangers of 5G, definitely go into the blog and do a Control F function, Control find, and just type in EMF, and you'll see all of the articles that Andrea transcribed for us. Thank you, Andrea.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Well, I don't know whether Nick finished it. Nick, are you done? I have to step out.
Yeah, I suppose Nick is finished. Yeah. Well, I guess if no one else has a question, that let me check, see here if we have one more person. Oh yeah, I do have another email that came in that I'd like to. Yeah, this one came in this morning. It's from Al. Al was a guest about maybe 8 or 9 months ago. Hi, Richard. Thank you for providing more information on the benefits of using sweet leaf stevia. I just spent an hour reading even more. Let's see. Yeah, let Unfortunately for me, even this pure stevia causes an imbalance of stomach microbiomes, resulting bloating, gas, and diarrhea. I'm not sure. I have to write him back in and tell him about our biome thing. It might help him out, our gut restore. There are also studies that demonstrate a change in pancreas that causes it to be a disruptor, classified as endocrine disruptor, preventing the FDA from labeling it as generally recognized as safe food, GRAS additive, until 2011. The European, he's going into what the European and Indian governments also have similar restraints, but are now allowing its use. There were some studies linking allergic reactions, which explains why I recently started fighting skin rashes after wearing denim jeans. On a positive note, I am progressing from stage 1 of the diet and trying additional foods. I usually overdo it and have to fast and stay strict with stage 1 again. So it is so nice to not have the itching, the biting, the crawling feeling, and even for a few days, it's nice to be normal. I forgot what it is like. And want to do all the things I used to do, but I am quickly reminded that I have to keep cleaning and disinfecting my surroundings and body, which takes up most of my waking hours, one day at a time. The journey is still worth it, and I am really happy. Thank you, and everyone participate in the Sunday calls, each of them a learning experience. Blessings to you and the community you created. Tony. I thank Tony for taking his time to write in. It's interesting that, sweet leaf stevia, this compound had to go through all this FDA stuff and the testing and so forth. When the email I sent out this morning has a list of all these stupid sugar substitutes starting back in 1970s, 60s with saccharin and Truvia and all this crap that they put out there as sugar substitutes that contribute to weight gain, what they're supposed to avoid. Use your sugar substitute so you don't get fat from sugar, but you're going to get fat from your sugar substitute. Cancer and other health, heart disease, they let this crap out there unrestricted, and they go after sweet leaf stevia. That's amazing. Ironic, isn't it? Okay, anyone else? I want to thank Tony, and Tony is progressing. That's what we're here. This makes my day. When I hear people succeed and the diet works, it's amazing. Thank you. Anyone else have a question? Okay, that concludes this portion of the program.